Hello. So, yeah. Uh, 2020. Bit shit that, wasn't it? Yeah. So, welcome. Welcome back. Maybe welcome for the first time. It depends who you are. And yeah, already I'm rambling. Good to be back. So, yesterday, uh, thanks to my partner being wonderful and working through the entire lockdown and pandemic and all that stuff and traveling across London on a daily basis and somehow surviving it, so well done. Kind of proud. And yeah, we managed to, well, she won tickets to a advanced preview thing. I don't know, but yeah, Doctor Who Time Fracture. Yeah, if you've got even a passing interest in Doctor Who, you'll have seen adverts for it on like Facebook and stuff. There's posters on buses. There's it's everywhere. And yeah, we had 2 tickets to a advanced preview performance, I suppose. Yeah, and yeah, just thought I'd let you know a bit about it. So, as you can tell from the name, it's to do with Doctor Who. I'll try not to go into too much detail with like specific stuff, because if you get the chance and you can get to London to go to it, or if it ends up doing the rounds, then I highly recommend going. Maybe wait until it's been going. Pardon me. Yeah, maybe wait until it's been going a little while so they can work out the kinks and fine tune it and stuff. Because it was good, but there were a few issues. But yeah, basic premise. You get called in by unit. The queue outside is managed by a guy in full unit gear who, I don't know if he was just really good at playing the part or if maybe he is a bit of a booger. And, I don't know, maybe he's actually got military training. I don't know. But, yeah, he was really into it. And, yeah, at one point, I thought we were going to have to like drop and give him 20, because I don't know the guy's name, because that wasn't really a thing. In the incredibly unlikely event that he sees this, you done good. You are a good unit person. If you again, if you do see this, if anyone that's in the show happens to see this, then please comment and stuff, because you were all brilliant. But yeah, slightly off track there, but you was all good. So yeah, it's like so you get called in by unit, and it's basically the Doctor, yay, has told unit that you are the people that they need to save the universe, and your mission, should you choose to accept it, but even if you don't, you're doing it anyway because no choice in the matter. You are there to save the universe from a fracture in time. See what they did there? It's just I'll just delete this whole thing. It's fine. But yeah, so it's like a live. It's basically like an episode of Doctor Who is playing out, and you're in it, and you're helping save the galaxy, the entire universe, and you might be helping solve a puzzle. You might be having a random staring contest against a very, very pretty lady that makes you feel a little uncomfortable because it kind of did. I won, but you know, it was, you know, give me a run for my money. So you know, again, you probably never see this, but well done. Um, yeah, it was just very odd. Just this scientist guy, like, oh, you and you, staring contest, go, and yeah, it's just like, oh, okay. I usually when I make eye contact with a pretty lady for this long, I usually, you know, she's usually asking what I'm doing and telling me to go away. So that was a bit uncomfortable, but it was fine. And yeah, you got scientists and aliens, and I think there's supposed to be like other Time Lords, maybe other incarnations of the Doctor. Wasn't entirely sure. But they're leading you through this story, and you need to find the clues that are going to lead you to saving the universe. And yeah, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. If you're a bit anxious because of the whole social distancing pandemic thing, and maybe wait a while before you go, because you know, even though at the beginning like there's plenty of room for you to stay socially distanced, there really wasn't. It was so many times I was wedged up against people. One of these times did lead to me getting my ass grabbed in the dark. So you know, there's something to look forward to. Yeah. Don't blink. Just saying. Apparently, there's like a dozen different scenarios, so you could go 3 or 4 times and possibly not have the same experience. So, you know, which is cool. Obviously, you might go like 3 or 4 times and just happen to keep going through the same bits over and over, which, you know, when it's like £57 a ticket, if you're not lucky enough to just be handed a couple. Again, thanks for that. Well done to the other half for surviving a year of travelling through London in a pandemic. But yeah, £57 a ticket. And the one we went to started at 6 and finished about 8:15. So you're there for a decent amount of time for that money. But, and I don't know if it was because it was the first showing, like it was the first performance. There were some issues. There was, you know, a bit where this, I can't remember what the Sisterhood's called. Sisterhood of Khan? The witches that made Paul McGann regenerate into John Hurt. Them. Yeah, she tells you, you know, like she told us to look for a character called Brian. You know, like look for someone called Brian. He's a bit of a beardy fella. I was like, okay, well that's, you know, yeah, maybe I'm secretly in this. I don't know. Maybe it's Brian Blessed. Oh, it could have been Brian Blessed. That'd have been awesome. Brian Blessed as next Doctor. Just saying. Mr. Blessed, if you're out there, please go to the BBC and tell them, I want to be the Doctor! And then punch anyone that says no. Pretend they're a polar bear and just punch them in the face. Apparently he punched a polar bear. I think this is a true story. I think I've heard him actually say it. So, you know, that's, if anyone was going to punch a polar bear, it'd be Brian Blessed. Just, yeah. But yeah, like, look for a man called Brian. I can't really describe him, but he's sort of a beardy fella. And we went outside, and there, you know, on the way in, there were at least 2 people that we'd seen that could fit that description. By the time we came out from this little meeting, no one. And we were just kind of stood there not really knowing what to do and where we were meant to go next, whilst this woman stood on some pallets and did a weird dance and flickering petals into a stream, and there was no idea what was going on there. And yeah, there was us and another couple that had been in that little get together, and we were just stood like, right, well, what do we do next? Where are we supposed to go? You know, and even asking some of the people that were just wandering about, it's like, so we're told to look for someone called, do you know a Brian? Because we don't really know where we're supposed to go. And fair play, in character, they're just like, oh, I don't really know a Brian, but if you go through there, maybe you'll find who you're looking for. And it's like, okay, thank you. So someone should have said to go through there, and they didn't. But even though it's not part of your story, okay, that's cool. No, so that was it's, I don't know. I say things like that kind of ruined it a little bit, but not fully. And I say it was apparently the first performance, so we were like we were the rehearsal crowd. We were the crash test dummies, and yeah, every now and then there'll be an event that kind of again, not getting into specifics, but like at one point we're there, and then all of a sudden, just the actors were like, "Oh, quick, run!" and a Cyberman walks in, and that was pretty cool. But because it was just run and shuffle you into the next room, a few people didn't actually see the Cyberman. And it was, I don't know if the costumes and things they've used, are actually provided by the BBC, or if this is something they, it's licensed by the BBC and they have to get the costumes done separate. But it was a bloody good Cyberman costume. It really was. It was like I don't think it was quite the Mondus Cybermen, but it was a sort of Troughton era, like the silver big box on the chest, handles of a satellite dish. It might have been like the Cyber Controller or something, because I think I remember some black on there somewhere. But yeah, I say, if it's not the BBC's prop department providing these costumes and stuff, it was a bloody good one. God, we said bloody good one. But I say, because it was just run, not everyone saw the Cybermen. As you're going around, say, different scenarios, so you'll run into like Cybermen, Daleks, Ood, Weeping Angels, Silence, although we didn't see that side of things, which kind of a shame, because quite like the Silence. Weeping Angels. Although, again, bit of fine tuning as they do more performances, but Weeping Angels, and you kind of see their wings sort of wobble a bit because they haven't stopped in time. But yeah, so it's like when you go see a stage show in like the West End or wherever, and if you're there day one, first performance, it's maybe not going to be as good as if you see it like 6 months later and they've gotten everything, they've got the pacing and everything perfect. And I think Time Fracture is going to be a hell of a show in a few months' time. And seeing as some people are like just about getting tickets for like next March and things like that, I think by then they'll have it down to a T and everything will run so smoothly. Because one of the other issues that we had was that normally things like this, you do your bit and then you move on, and then after you've gone out, everyone resets, and then the next group comes in and they do their bit, and then they go out, and then the next group comes in. This was like everyone playing catch up. So, because it was just one performance and people were coming through certain parts at different times because of the path they'd taken. And yeah, that did kind of ruin it a bit, especially for the big finale, where there's some quite important stuff, and then people were coming in like halfway through because they'd been doing other things, and yeah, that it wasn't like essential stuff, but it sort of was, and these people missed it, and that was kind of a shame, because obviously if you're there for something like this, you're a big Doctor Who fan, and it would have, it's stuff that they probably would have really wanted to be part of, and couldn't be because they were being a part of something else, which is cool. But you know, that makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. Sure, why not? But yeah, so once obviously, if they're doing performances all day, then things like that will get ironed out, and it'll be fine and groovy. And yeah, there was and I don't know if it was meant to happen or if it was just them on the fly, but it was quite nice. We're talking to one Time Lord, and then door opens, and another one comes through, and she's sort of wandering through with someone that's making notes. So I don't know if that's a new recruit or what, but yeah, they sort of come through, and she's sort of crawling on the floor to not draw attention, but obviously drawing attention. The Time Lord we're with, just like, can you? And then she stands up, she's like, hey, and the other one's like, hey, and oh my god, your outfit, I know it's great, and doing little spins. Like, oh, and Ginger, yeah, I'm finally Ginger. Hey, woo. Anyway, enough of that, and it just kind of runs off into wherever she was going, and little bits like that were great because I don't know if it was meant to happen or if it was just she was walking through and like, bugger, there's people in here. Oops, I should have gone the other way. And then they just, just ad lib. I completely improvised. That's the word I was trying to think of, and completely forgot because I am a moron. Moron and proud. Yeah. And yeah. So bits like that. I don't know if they're meant to happen, but they played it off well if it wasn't. So good times. And yeah, as you go around, you hear voices of different incarnations of the Doctor, and I don't know how many of them are the actual actors, how many are taken from episodes, how many are just people doing impressions. The bits where you heard Capaldi's voice didn't sound like him. Again, he's not going to see this, but if Peter Capaldi or anyone that knows could let me know in the comments, the bits of Peter Capaldi's voice, were they actually him or not? Because it didn't sound like him. But Matt Smith, it sounded like Matt Smith. You see Jodie Whittaker and David Bradley, the new First Doctor. You see them in a few bits. They're pretty much there to guide you through it. And yeah, that was great. I mean, oh, Jodie. And Mr. Bradley, who I think David Bradley, because in my head it's either David Bradley or Alan Bradley, and I'm fairly certain Alan Bradley is the Rita guy from Coronation Street. Anyone that is younger or not in the UK, that might not make much sense to you, but those that do get it here. Yes, I think David Bradley. The caretaker guy from Harry Potter. I could just ask my little robot thing next to me to check that, but I don't know the Harry Potter character's name. say Filch. Hey Google, who played Filch in Harry Potter?
Argus Filch was played by David Bradley.
Thanks, Han.
You're welcome. You can call me Google Assistant.
Okay, so yeah, David Bradley. Yeah, he, say him on video screens and Jodie Whittaker are sort of guiding you through it mostly, and then I say there are sort of some interactions, I suppose, and we'll go with that, with other doctors, and yeah, it was just that. Yeah, especially at one point, I'm just, no, it's fine. Don't worry. Also, the girl that did the staring contest with me, again, you're not gonna see this video. I very much doubt it. But when the guy said, "Get your blinks out now," and you did the weeping angel thing, well done. I mean, I don't know, maybe that wasn't meant to be a weeping angel thing, but if it was, well done. I liked that a lot. That entertained me. So, yeah, nice one. Yeah. So, oh, I'm sure there's something else I was going to mention. But I couldn't. Oh, yeah. There's so bit near the beginning where you're in this sort of unit control room, and there's monitors everywhere. They've got like a computer that's monitoring the news around the world, and some of the bits are clips from episodes, like the Cybermen from the Cyberman Missy episode where they're stomping down the steps at St. Paul's. You've got like the pyramids are upside down, things like that. And then there's one that I don't know whose idea this was, but there's one where it's got the podium from the White House, like where the president does all his press conference things, and the news report is U.S. president turns into a tangerine, and there's just a big fat orange ball there, and I saw it and I was like, oh my god, we've gone back in time a year, and there were a few people just, and looking around at the monitor, and it just that put joy in my cold dead heart. It was glorious. That was one of the highlights of the whole show for me. As I say, the pacing was maybe a bit off in places, so people missed important things. But I say it was apparently the first time they were doing it with actual people there. So yeah, things like that will be worked out in the first few weeks and months and stuff. So if you got tickets from sort of July onwards, you'll probably have a pretty well polished experience. We'll go with that. I don't know if I've ever realised just how much I talk with my hands when I get excited about stuff. Yeah. So yeah, people missed out on important stuff just because timing and stuff. So things like that will get ironed out. Maybe that's what there were a couple of people wandering around making notes. Maybe it was so they could work out things like that. I don't know. I think they probably are new recruits and they're going to be in the show at some point. But yeah, so that'll get sorted out. Again, the social distancing thing was a bit of an issue because there were places where you are just crammed in next to people. At one point, we were watching one bit play out, and then another group just came and was like walking past us, like within inches. And even with a mask on, that's a bit unpleasant. But you know, say it's not enough to make it a bad experience. It was just a. I mean, I think that's the first time I've been in a. Yeah, first time I've been in London since before the first lockdown, and yeah, that kind of made me a bit uncomfortable anyway. And the whole distancing thing didn't really help, but yeah, so not enough to completely ruin the experience. Well, didn't ruin the experience at all, really. But you know, it's just a bit sort of. But again, as time goes on and things get somewhere near normal, you know, that won't be an issue. Another thing that did get me is at the start, they're like, as we're walking in, like, check all bags and coats into the cloakroom. You know, not allowed your phone switched on. Blah 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 blah. We put our stuff in the cloakroom, and then it was like $2.99 an item or something like that. It's like, hey, no one said we had to pay for it. You know, and then after we've paid for it, there are other people walking around with their coats and bags, and that was a bit of a piss take. Gotta be said, that was a bit of a piss take. You know, and there's even a sign saying to put your coats and bags in the cloakroom, and then apparently if you don't have to, and that's perfectly fine. Yeah. Also, the other thing, you check your stuff in the cloakroom, and there's bars dotted around the thing. Yeah, there's like 2, 3 bars, maybe more. I don't remember 3 off the top of my head. But, yeah. It's like, okay, check all your stuff in there because you can't have it on you. Unless you do, in which case that's fine. Also, you've checked your stuff in, but here is a bar so you can get drinks and stuff while you're going around. And, you know, I mean, yeah, I suppose they're not going to not charge you. But, you know, maybe mention beforehand, you know, they said there's plenty of places where you can get drinks and refreshments and stuff to keep you going. But they don't mention that you have to pay for the stuff, you know, because I was thinking, you know, there'll be like a little refreshment station where you can get like, you know, a bottle of water or something. Nah, this is fully paid bars and things, which when you've just put your money, you know, you just put your wallet and your stuff in a cloakroom. So maybe someone could have mentioned that, but I suppose it makes sense that, you know, you'd have to pay for the stuff, you know, you get cocktails and stuff. But yeah, to make it sound like it's, you know, like the water tables at the marathon, you know, there's just someone there just handing out things for you to drink or dump over your head or whatever. It kind of made it kind of sound like that instead of an actual bar. So yeah, but yeah, the people in it were great, especially for the first performance. You know, it was pretty well polished. You know, it could maybe do with a little bit more, just to make it a little bit shinier. But as I say, as the weeks and months and hopefully years go on, that will, you know, it'll be great, and that won't be an issue. But until then, yeah, it's, you know, it's good. Hopefully at some point there'll be a gift shop, because as you walk in, there's cabinets full of like Eaglemoss Doctor Who stuff, and I was kind of hoping to get something from it, but no. But hopefully that's there, so at some point they can have a gift shop. Maybe it was just there so that once it's fully open, that you'll have, you know, you'll have little weeping angel statues and things to make it so you can go, ooh, weeping angels, ooh, a TARDIS, ooh, and stuff. But I don't know. I don't know what the plan is there. But hoping gift shop. But yeah. So yeah, a few issues. It'll all be ironed out eventually, but just yeah. Hey, with if you're taking little kids, it unless they're like super confident, oh, you're going to be some sort of high-powered businessman or a serial killer type kids. Just be wary, because it's keep an eye on them, because it might be a bit much for them in places, but I think in general they're gonna love it. So yeah, I hope it does well, because it's I can't. I mean, there probably are other things in London that are similar. Maybe like the Crystal Maze live experience, stuff like that. Where it's not quite an escape room, but it's not like a stage show. It sort of sits somewhere in the middle. But yeah, the people are great. Just as you're walking around, you'll see little references and things, and there's like a mini junkyard with so many little Doctor Who Easter eggs that I'm sure even I missed some. So yeah, if you get a chance to go. And if you don't get a chance to go, then hope that someone smuggles a camera in so you can see it. As I say, it's about 2 hours. There's a nice little interval where you're just in basically the cantina from Star Wars, but that's nothing actually. The again, I doubt anyone that works for it will see this, unless they're just trying to find reviews to see where they need to tweak it. But the two alien ladies singing in the bar, wow, you girls are amazing. Especially the blue lady, the Pillion? I can't remember now. But yeah, the blue lady was amazing. So this sort of lounge singer, sort of maybe not lounge singer, but a sort of slow sort of ballad version of Creep by Radiohead, and it was amazing. It just but her swing maybe is what I'm thinking. Sort of slow, sort of swing version of it. But yeah, she is amazing. The Silurian that was singing with her, she was amazing, and yes. But yeah, go to it and make it successful so that it can be there for a long time, and maybe they can move somewhere that isn't a little back alley and make it bigger and more, even more impressive, and have a gift shop. Yeah, so I say go. It's if you get a chance, it's expensive, but I say it's like 2 hours and you're pretty much constantly on the go, and yeah, just it was really good. I really enjoyed myself. I've got a bad knee at the moment, so most of the time I was in pain and leaning against walls and things, but it was apart from that, yeah. So go see it and experience it and stuff. Yeah. And yeah, without going into particular details and spoilers, a little appearance from River Song. That would have been nice. Maybe that was in one of the other scenarios and I just missed it, like the silence. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, go check it out and go do things and be groovy, and hopefully you like this and will subscribe and stuff. If not, then sorry I wasn't good enough. Yeah. So thanks for watching. Do appreciate it. I love every single one of you. Except you. Yeah. No, not you. You're fine. Yeah, that one. Yeah. They're bit sus. Yeah. Thanks for watching. I will hopefully see you again. And yeah. Bye for now.